As a fundamental investor, I've always been a big follower of Mr. Warren Buffett. I've learned a lot from his teachings in the form of books, blogs, videos, articles, etc. And when it comes to Indian context, I'm a big admirer of Mr. Raamdeo Agrawal. I ensure that I never miss any of his interviews. In fact, Mr. Raamdeo Agrawal is also a big follower of Mr. Warren Buffett. And I strongly believe that it is still day one of my learning in stock market. Hence, time and again, I try to read good books, research reports and theses on investment to enhance my knowledge. And that's where I've come across a very interesting checklist that Mr. Raamdeo Agrawal and his company Motilal Oswal has implemented to identify the wealth creators. Hey everyone, my name is Sahil and this is my Personal Finance Academy. Every year, Mr. Raamdeo Agrawal publishes an annual report on wealth creators of past 5 years, and there are a lot of learning in those reports. Now, in December 2020, they published a report on 25 years of their learning in stock market and identified top stocks and sectors that have created humongous wealth for their investors. Mr. Raamdeo Agrawal and his team then identified several parameters that made those stocks multibagger. And based on those learnings, they have come up with their own list of 25 stocks for next 25 years. Alright, so let's explore this research report. Equity investment is complex. Let's accept it. And that's where a checklist is an excellent tool to bring discipline to investment process. And Mr. Raamdeo Agrawal has done an exceptional job of putting all his learnings of last 3-4 decades to create this framework called QGLP Framework that stands for Quality, Growth, Longevity and Reasonable Price. Here quality stands for quality of business and quality of management. Then growth stands for growth in earnings, longevity stands for long-term relevance of business and its competitive advantage, and price stands for reasonable valuation with high margin of safety. Trust me folks, this is one of the best research reports that I have come across, and I would strongly recommend each one of you to read this 25th report that summarizes all the learning of Mr. Raamdeo Agrawal. Honestly, it is really difficult to do justice with this report in a 10-15 minute video, but I'll try my best to share my learnings as much as possible. Needless to say, this video is only for serious long-term fundamental investors. Alright, let me give it a shot. To begin with, the research report has identified the top stocks that outperformed the benchmark between 1995 to 2020, and it categorized the top stocks in 4 categories. First, fastest wealth creator, second, biggest wealth creator, third, consistent wealth creator, which means companies that have consistently outperformed in the last 25 years, and fourth, best all-round wealth creator that combines the rank of fastest, biggest and consistent wealth creator. So here is the list of 25 fastest wealth creator between 1995 to 2020. Infosys is on top of this list that has grown at 30% CAGR rate, or in other words, it has grown 688 times. That's insane. And look at CAGR growth in profit. It's 33%. Interestingly, Infosys PE in 95 was just 26. Today, you hardly find such high potential company at such low valuation. Second rank is Pidilite that multiplied wealth by 258 times, followed with Eicher Motors, Shree Cement, Berger Paint, Honeywell Auto, Sun Pharma, Bajaj Finance, Motherson Sumi, Britannia, Asian Paints, Balkrishna Industry, Titan, Kotak Mahindra, Lupin, Coromandel International, Crisil, 3M, Aarti Industry, Dabur, Amara Raja, SDFC, Hindustan Zinc, Hero Moto and Nerolac. Next, in terms of biggest wealth creator, first rank is of Reliance Industries that created wealth of 6.3 lakh crore rupees. Look at the P ratio of Reliance in 1995. It is followed with HUL, then Infosys, SDFC, Kotak Mahindra, ITC, Asian Paints, Nestle, Bajaj Finance, L&T and so on. Next, in terms of consistent wealth creator, first rank is of Kotak Mahindra Bank that outperformed the benchmark Sensex 21 times in 23 rolling return periods of 3 years between 1995 to 2020. It was closely followed with Berger Paints and SDFC with 20 periods of consistent outperformance. Interestingly, 6 of the top 10 consistent wealth creators are also among the top 10 fastest wealth creator. It includes Berger Paints, Pidilite, Shree Cement, Honeywell Auto, Motherson Sumi and Sun Pharma. Finally, they combined the best and created the list of top 25 all-round wealth creator between 1995 to 2020. And the list is topped by Kotak Mahindra Bank that ranked 14th in fastest wealth creator, 5th in biggest, 1st in consistent and 20th in overall. It is followed with Pidilite, then Asian Paints, Shree Cement, Berger Paint, Sun Pharma, SDFC, Bajaj Finance, Dabur, Eicher Motor, Honeywell Auto, Titan, Britannia, Motherson, Infosys, 3M, Nestle, Reliance, Unilever, Hiromoto, Coromandel, Torrent, Balakrishna, Abbott, and P&G Hygiene. Now you might wonder, in terms of sector, which sectors have been the biggest wealth creator in last 25 years? So here is the list. Consumer and retail is number 1 with 14 wealth creators out of 100 and 28% of wealth creation, and interestingly, its P ratio was also the highest in 1995. Yet it became the number 1 wealth creator. Although pharma and healthcare has the highest 15th wealth creator, but their contribution mix in wealth creation is 8%. Then auto sector also had 14 wealth creator out of top 100. In terms of profitability measured by return on equity, the list is topped by HUL with average return on equity of 68%, followed with Nestle, then Colgate, then Castrol, Hero, P&G, Dabur, and so on. If you observe, majority of them are FMCG companies and retail-focused companies, and that is the reason they always command a premium valuation. Now, based on the study in last 25 years, Mr. Raamdeo Agrawal and his team has come up with 25 stocks that can deliver handsome returns over the next 25 years. So let us first look at step-by-step process that they used to shortlist the 25 stocks, and then we'll look at the list. So in step 1, they observed the top 25 wealth creators of last 25 years, and the observations were as follows. Almost all companies were small to mid in size in base year 1995, and almost all the companies were consumer facing that made their business model secular. Then all companies were very profitable with average ROE of around 17%. Then all companies grew to emerge as market leader, that is among the top 3 in their respective business, and all companies had management with high integrity and competence. Then in step 2, based on the observation, they used a logical approach to build a portfolio of potential 25 wealth creators for the next 25 years. First criteria is size, where they looked at 150 mid-cap companies by market cap. Second is business model, where they preferred consumer-facing companies with secular business model. So they eliminated cyclical businesses like auto auxiliary, capital goods, chemical, oil and gas, and realty. This reduced the list of companies from 150 to 114. Then third criteria was high profitability, where they chose companies with last 5-year average ROE greater than 15%. This reduced the list from 114 to 63. In fourth criteria, they looked at business potential and management potential, where they judged the business potential and management potential of the companies and selected only those that qualified on both counts. This reduced the list from 63 to 28. Next, they considered market leadership, where among 28 companies, they shortlisted the market leader to narrow down the list to 13 companies. Next, they looked at value migration. Now, what is value migration? So over the period of time, value migrated from outmoded business designs to new ones that are better able to satisfy customers' priority and offer more value. One of the examples of value migration at global level is global manufacturing migration to China, as China offered manufacturing at much lower cost. Likewise, value in IT and healthcare sector migrated to India. Then local value migration example is value migration from wired telephone to wireless phones. Likewise, there are many other examples, like in banking, value migrated from state-owned bank to private banks. In gems and jewelry, value migrated from unorganized market to organized market. In aviation, value migrated from full-service airlines to low-cost airlines. So when value migrates, all companies benefit in the sector irrespective of market leadership. So they have selected 5 beneficiaries of value migration, and total stock count reached to 18. Next, they considered the large caps for financials. So they believe that financial services is quite a risky business, and here size matters the most. Obviously, when it comes to keeping our money in bank, we also go with top bank, isn't it? So they have added 6 stocks from large cap financial sector to make the stock count to 24. Next, they used digital play, where in spite of not satisfying the above criteria, they have added 1 pure play digital company in the list, making the total stock count to 25. And finally, when it comes to valuation, they believe that in the long term, valuation matters the less. Hence, they ignored valuation in the shortlisting process. Based on all the discussed criteria, here's the list of 25 stocks for next 25 years. It includes Ajanta Pharma, Alembic Pharma, Esther Limited, AU Small Finance, Bajaj Finance, Bata India, Bayer Crop Science, Coromandel International, Dixon, Dr. Lal Pathlab, SDFC AMC, SDFC Bank, SDFC Life, Honeywell Auto, ICICI Lombard, ICICI Security, India Mart Intermash, Max Financials, Emphasis, Muthoot Finance, P&G Health, Page Industries, Syngene International, Varun Beverage and Whirlpool India. Please note that the stock mentioned here are used to explain the concept only and should not be used for development or implementation of any investment strategy. Now going forward, there is no guarantee that all 25 stocks would become the wealth creators, but it is part of game. You win some and you lose some. Overall, based on the past 25 years of learning and the logical criteria that are used, I also find that this list is a very good list of top mid-cap companies, including some large-cap financial companies that are leader in their sector and have a very strong business model with high profitability led by efficient leadership. Although I feel that valuation does play a crucial role in stock selection. Now here, we did not cover those 25 questions that would help you understand how they have really identified those strong businesses. So this was the part 1 of the video where we discussed the top wealth creators in the last 25 years. And based on the learning, we looked at the list of 25 wealth creators in the next 25 years. But here, we did not focus on the QGLP framework. So in the second part, I'll cover the QGLP framework in detail and 25 questions that made Mr. Raamdeo Agrawal and his team shortlist these 25 stocks for next 25 years. This would be a great learning process that would help you with a proper framework to identify the right stocks for wealth creation. So stay tuned for second part. And if you find this video useful, then make sure that you subscribe to this channel to stay updated with more such informative content and press the bell icon to get notified on new videos. I also want you to share your list of top stocks that you think can create great wealth in the future. I look forward to your list. And if you want to learn every aspect of money management, you can explore my course. Alright, I'll see you in next video. Till then, take care.